Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jordan here with another Warhammer Total War live battlecast. So, it looks like my opponent, Hodor, over here has selected Bretonia so far. So, let's go ahead and have a... I haven't played the Greenskins against Bretonia lately, or excuse me, against the Empire. So, let's go ahead and do that. That should be a nice, fun matchup here. So, we're going to get an Orc War Boss. We are also going to get a Goblin Big Boss. We'll put him on his Wolf, give him a potion as well. And let's get an Orc Shaman for the Big Wah. We're going to get rid of Headbutt. We're going to get, or Edbutt, however you'd like to say that. We'll get rid of Brain Buff, so we'll keep the buffs, and we'll also keep the Foot of Gork. It's actually not terrible. I actually saw a really good use of it. I was playing in a 2 vs 2 game, and someone actually used the Nets of Amnatok on the opponent's cavalry, and then his partner used the overloaded Foot of Gork there and did a ton of damage. It was really, really cool synergy. So, anyways, guys, I digress. Let's get some of these Doomdiver catapults. Pretty good choice there. We're going to want some Black Orcs to deal with the various great swords and things like that he decides to bring. So as far as fodder goes, I could go with lads, or I could go with some biggins. Actually, I feel like would be pretty decent. And again, I'm gonna experiment with some different builds here. And cavalry, do I want to play the cavalry game? I feel like having like a Ragnarok Spider is good, but Empire with their cannons and different things like that are able to do pretty well against those. So yeah, I'm not sure, guys. But the Orc Warboy Biggins are pretty good in the cavalry warfare because they do have the anti-large, armor piercing, all that stuff. And then we'll get some Goblin Wolf Riders. Let's see the map. So this is actually a good map for Vanguard deployment, so we'll go with that. So let's cut one group of Biggins here. That'll allow us to get some Night Goblin Archers, which I'm actually a fan of. So we'll cut here and get these guys, and then we can just get some like Orc Boys. And in order to pinch the pennies here, I can just get rid of Slippery. I feel like it's not the biggest deal in the world. Get rid of here. So I have a decent infantry corps. These guys will lead, these guys will be in the wings, and these guys will be in the center core. And with the Orc War Boss and the Big Wah, I also have these guys to deal with missile troops and these Doomdiver catapults. So the one thing that I don't have going for me is that my opponent probably will have a superior cavalry force, and he'll be able to cycle charge and do all that. So I'm going to have to use those biggins to be very efficient with them, because it's going to be tough. Empire is a very, very strong faction. Not to say the Greenskins aren't. They're definitely good. So we'll see how this game goes, guys. Should be a fun one. Hopefully the Goblin Wolf Riders can get some good flanks and maybe take out some handgunners, things like that. That's the dream, guys. I actually really like this map. I feel like it's a lot of interactive terrain, very, very fun. So now we're just waiting for my opponent to load in so you guys can listen to me aimlessly rant for a minute or so. Hopefully it won't take that long, but man, it's been quite a long day, guys. Been playing a lot, trying to get these battlecasts for you guys. It can be tricky because if you play against an opponent who's like lagging, anything like that, the whole battlecast, can go out the window basically, and you just have to play this lag fest, and yeah, always a tough time, guys. But regardless, this guy seems to have a pretty good connection. I think we're ready to party, so kudos to him. So we'll get these Orc Boys in the front line. We will get the Biggins in the wings, because again, I might detach them to deal with more mobile units. Black Orcs will hopefully do some work against the Great Swords. So we'll get those guys there. So this is my infantry corps for the most part. We'll put the Orc Shaman right in the front and back. Not front and center, but back and center, I should say. So I got them here. So that's fine. They can start here, and they'll have that tree line to cover them as they march out initially. And the Doomdivers, I'll probably start over here, actually. Because I want them to have a good angle on the opponent's forces. So hopefully this, I won't regret this, to say the least. So these guys can be my group 2. This is my Goon Squad here. We can use these guys back here, kind of keep them hidden in the trees. All right, and we can put these guys group 4. And these Night Goblins, you know what? I can actually just put the Night Goblins with the main force, because they will be stealthed, which is pretty nice. So the opponent won't know I have them until he's very close. Got this here, and now for the Vanguard deployment. So these guys can be group 5. So let's see if there's any good options here. So not out there in these wings. This is in his territory here, but I do have a pretty decent Vanguard right here, I think. Can I squeeze in there? So that one group is actually hidden, guys. And I think that's okay. And then maybe this other group can be like over here or something. I think that's good. I have these. Hopefully he doesn't like deploy over here and then I have to, do the huge march over there. All right, guys. So this is okay. Maybe I'll probably end up using the Big Boss. And if he does bring Demogryph Knights, I'll pull my Lord and these guys as well. So maybe actually I'll just keep these guys over here as well and just have them in group 6 and then have group 5 be my backside harass. All right, so it looks like we are in business. So I'm just going to go ahead and start shooting at these halberdiers. Looks like my opponent's main force is over here, so I'm going to go ahead and advance here and move these guys up here and move these Goblin Wolf Riders. I'm going to start moving them around the back flank here and move these guys up here. All right, guys. So things are in motion, and he is bringing his flying harass, of course. Always a good time. And, you know, I'm going to keep my leadership here as well as these cavalry. I'm going to literally just keep them right on top of these guys and move my goblins here. So let's go ahead and put these guys in group 3. I think that would be fine. So, oops, wrong one. So you want to put him back in 5 and put this one back in 3. So 3, we're just going to put right here. And I'm getting some decent pot shots here, which is actually nice. So these guys are going to generate some good value for me here. So let's go ahead and move here. Keep this force moving over here. And he's so, you know, he wants to land so badly right now. It looks like he's going to use some sort of, is he going to like net me or something? Is that what's going to happen? So, okay, at least I was netted like right on top of that. So we can go ahead and start shooting here. These night goblins will be able to get into range fairly quickly, and I'll get these goblins too. Thankfully, they're in pretty decent position, and I'm still going to be able to get some damage on this guy. So, oh, did he use another net there? Or is that just like a periodic cast thing? Anyways, I'm still continuing to advance. Things are going pretty well. I'm just going to try and pop that General of the Empire. And these cannons, they are shaken, but they're not offline yet. So far so good. And he is using a lot of Winds of Magic, guys. So this is actually not a terrible situation to be in. Looks like he's picking up a few goblins here, and the guys are breaking free from the net, so he is definitely going to want to get out of there. So I'm going to reform here and use these guys to shoot at this guy. And I could start shooting at this guy, actually. That's probably a better investment. So we'll just use the Lord and these guys to chase him off, and we'll reform our ranks here in the center. And I should probably put these guys in a different group just so they don't auto-toggle when I move the rest of them. But you can see they're actually getting some decent harass on this guy and are keeping him from taking off, which is good. I can't complain at all. And we got these guys. Let's get them back on their machines here. Get them firing again. Get them back in the action. So, oh, are they just completely busted up? No, they're working. Okay. So yeah, look at that guy. He's getting chased down, which is pretty funny. So these Doom Divers are back online. So let's go ahead and take some shots at that Great Cannon and these guys. Can I get them back here? Oh, that's kind of interesting. It's kind of hard to toggle them onto those things sometimes. Looks like the one is broken, though. But yeah, he is getting chased down, guys. And he had to use his potion and used Frost Protection as well. So as far as Winds of Magic goes, he's pretty much offline, guys. So I do have this Gobbo in the back. Let's go ahead and see if I can like swing him up and around here. Get a decent rear charge on those handgunners right there. That would be really nice. So we'll continue to advance the main force, pressure my opponent. And at the same time, you know, his guy is getting chased down here. This is, it's going pretty well. And these guys, can they not get back on? Maybe they're just straight up broken. Yeah, I think he did break those ones, so I might just be out of luck here. So we'll pull the Lord here. I love this. This is so great. This guy's just, he is not getting away from these guys. So right now, the Goblin Wolf Riders are coming back through the forest. They're going to get a nice rear charge there for sure. And now that I'm taking some fire here, I'm going to try and peel out because he is going to net me down here. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to get netted. But most of my main force is still like operational. So let's go ahead and engage here and here and here. And we can run these guys up and around here, and these night goblins, they can start shooting at this wizard up here. That's actually not a bad choice. And let's get him in here to target that guy. And I did get the rear charge on his cannon, which was very nice. So I'm going to switch it onto these handgunners here, and let's cycle these guys out because it looks like my opponent has reacted to them quite well. So let's go ahead and get him in the front line, and we'll get these guys on these Demogryph Knights over here and get the Goblin Big Boss over there as well, and we'll send some big uns to help out. So, all right, so things are relatively online. It looks like he's going to fly his Lord back to deal with that, but I'm totally fine with that. You know, again, those Doom Divers are all already pretty much offline, so Max, maybe keep those guys here. Yeah, look at the damage those Goblins are doing to those guys. That's pretty solid. So let's get these guys out there. We'll just ignore them. We're going to use the Wa, as well as the different buffs, and we got to use the Shaman as well. Been definitely neglecting that. We'll use Here We Go. And I believe I sent some troops around the wing here, so let's go ahead and cycle charge them in again. And yeah, it's going okay. Not an ideal situation, but you know, it could be worse. So we'll keep pressuring these Demogryph Knights here. They are the Regiment of Renown, so they're going to be pretty hard to deal with, guys. So I might be able to get a foot of Gork. Oh, no, I miscasted that. Oh, okay, good, it did cancel it. All right, so we're going to use our additional buffs here and continue to harass back here. I was able to get those big uns up and around. And let's get these Goblin Wolf Riders here as well. Continue, these big uns here, and we'll use the buffs. Always, with Greenskins, there are a lot of buffs to keep track of, so let's get these guys shooting over there, and let's go ahead and get the Shaman over here, actually. He's a pretty good combatant himself, and it looks like I am breaking through. So once their lines start to crumble a little bit, it's always good to just like force path through. And you see, he did send those troops back there to deal with my my siege units, but really, I don't think that was a good investment at this point. So I do have those big uns back here, and the big uns over here were able to get engaged. Let's use the Potion of Toughness. And he's definitely chasing that guy off. So the lad made a sacrifice for the greater good. But you know, most of my infantry, Greenskin infantry, is very, very tough, guys. So they were able to break through and are doing pretty well for me at this point. So we're gonna need some help over here. It looks like he had some Demogryph Knights in auxiliary. Move those guys up. You get the Shaman here, and I don't have any buffs to use at the moment. So let's just get these missile units, continue to shoot at those great swords. applying the poison. And yeah, so I got my Lord over here. He's feeling comfortable. He's happy. He's stomping the yard. And let's get one group over here to poison those Demogryph Knights to keep them locked down. And I think it's going well. His Lord is coming back now, which is a bit of an issue. Oh, can I actually get these guys back on the Doom Divers? That's pretty funny that they're still online after all this. So let's go ahead and use our buffs here to get those guys going, and we'll also use a group of buffs over here just to turn the tide of both of these battles to give me a little bit of an advantage. So I'm going to pull these guys up and pull some of these Black Orcs back because I pretty much already won this battle. So not the game in general, but that particular frontline battle. So we'll get the big boss back here, and we're just going to punish this Light Wizard really quick. That poison, as well as the Goblin Wolf Riders, will be able to lock him down very aggressively. So I'm actually going to keep the Black Orcs over here. Use the Wah, and I think we're sitting pretty, guys. Those guys are getting some nice shots here on this guy, giving him some trouble. And let's get these Black Orcs over here, pull the lads over here, and that battle over there went quite well. So right now I'm going to pull these guys up, and let's see how it's going out here. Yeah, it looks like he was able to rout those biggins, and those Demogryph Knights are still in decent shape. So I don't want to split my army too much. It's not as strong as it looks, and he still has quite a few forces left. Thankfully, I was able to poison this Light Wizard and keep him locked down, basically, because that's going to keep him from escaping. So is he dead? It looks like he is indeed dead. So let's go ahead and get these handgunners here. My Orc boss still has a potion and is doing pretty good for himself. So actually, let's go ahead and engage on these guys. I do need to get that poison on them to slow them down and keep them in check. But thankfully, that went pretty well. But I wouldn't mind, actually, if he attacked this Orc boss, guys, because... Oh, is that Doom Diver back online? It is, even after all that, guys. So we'll go ahead and get on here, and let's go ahead and poison. And the Orc boss, I'm probably going to preemptively use this Potion of Toughness because he is getting focused very aggressively. So let's pull him back to his troops and check for routing units over here. Got the Doom Diver shooting. All right, guys, we're sitting pretty. Potion of Toughness is really, really paying its dues. So we want to keep some Black Orcs here because he is cycling. Let's move them and move these guys here. Move those guys over there. Great. So we're relatively stable, I'm thinking. But again, my opponent's still putting up a great fight, and his Lord is in really, really good shape. Keep in mind, guys, that is the Regiment of Renown, and let's go ahead and use this. I've been really neglecting to use my Winds of Magic this game, so we'll use that to buff that group. Oh, see, sometimes you do that. You gotta wait for the spell to finish, guys, because if you don't, then it's just gonna cancel the cast. And these lads are back in action, and I really like the Night Goblin Archers. Being able to apply poison from range is such a nice gift. He is targeting my Lord, though, guys. I gotta be careful because my leadership is, could start tanking really, really hard here if my Lord does die. So it looks like he's terrified right now, which is fine. He's not routed, guys. He's just terrified, so nothing to worry about. And his Lord is starting to take some serious punishment now. So let's go ahead in here and... Oh, did he get terrified as well? Man, that mechanic is pretty strong. I actually haven't noticed it that much till this game, but it's paying off for him. These guys were able to chase them down, so let's pull those Black Orcs back. And it looks like he is wavering now. So let's go ahead and use some funny business on him. Shoot a magic missile effect. And let's just restabilize our ranks because there's a lot of chaos going on here. Look at those Doom Divers, guys. Still doing really, really good. Oh, that's actually a cool end scene right there. Check that out. Isn't that neat? Very, very cool. All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed that live Battlecast. It was a lot of fun. I do like the Greenskins against the Empire. Those Demogryph Knights were definitely a force to be reckoned with. I had to send like 3 groups over there. I mean, look how bad these Orc Boarboy Biggins did. So those Goblin Wolf Riders, those ones in the flanks, though, they did really good. Got that nice rear charge and were able to do some work against my opponent. Orc Boys did good. Black Orcs did good. This group of Biggins, again, were invested over here, and they got wrecked. So as far as my opponent's force goes, he had some good nets for sure and was able to get some pretty good initial value out of these handgunners and all that stuff. But once the Goblin Wolf Riders were able to get back there, I think that turned the tide a little bit. So really good game to my opponent, Hodor. I look forward to seeing you again on ladder. Great name. And thanks again for watching, guys. Really appreciate all your support and more content coming your way.